The date is February the 20th, 2005. The presidency of Joaquim Chissano ends today, as David Simango has won the election. He would be the first person to be president of the nation Mozambique that was not a party member of the Mozambique Liberation Front. But you may say, well, didn't Armando Guebuza of the Mozambique Liberation Front win? No. This is in fact a lie, a cover-up. There's more to this election than you think. And I have a simple clip, a mere second-long video clip to prove this wrong. Did you see that? It may have been too quick. Did you see that? It may have been too quick. Let's slow this down frame by frame. As you can see here, you see some armed gunmen point and execute Simango. But here's where the questions arise. How did this gunman get here? How did he obtain this firearm? Well, as we all may know, to obtain a firearm in Mozambique, all must go through extensive background checks. And during 2005, gun trafficking was at an all-time low. So what does this mean? Could this gunman be a foreign agent? A terrorist? Let's look further into this. Oh, and do please keep in mind that this is the only footage of the actual assassination. The full inauguration was aired on the state broadcaster, Television of Mozambique. But it seems that this is the only part of the footage that's been recovered. Well, anyway, let's get back to this. To start off, we need to find out who is in the general vicinity of Simango. To the left of Simango, in the military-style hat, we see Minister of Justice, Constitutional and Religious Affairs, Abdul Remane Lino de Almeida. Further to the left, closest to the railing, we see the Minister of the Sea, Inland Waters and Fisheries, Agostino Salvador Manlan. In the middle, we see a man with a grayer hair and lighter skin tone. This is Andreas Pastrano Arango, who is the chairman of Centrist Democrats International, an affiliate party to the Democratic Movement of Mozambique. Andreas was a close friend of Simango. Directly behind Simango, we have two presidential guards. Though their names haven't been released, we do know they are top ranking in the Mozambique Armed Forces. Lastly, sitting to the right of Simango is the Minister of Culture and Tourism, Silva Armando Dumbero. Now that we know who these people are, we need to find out who the gunman is and how we got up to where Simango was at the time. We do know that the presidential palace at the time was tightly secured, even more so than usual. Therefore, it is highly unlikely he made his way in illegally. He must have came from within the government. I would say he was most likely a recently hired palace guard, who was part or acting to be part of the private security company that was assigned to guard the presidential palace that week because they are understaffed at the time. This would make it very easy for some sort of a foreign agent to make his way close enough to Simango to execute him. This would have involved a lot of planning. The only actual identification of the gunman was his surname, Jambal. This brings us closer to finding out who the gunman actually was. Now let's take a step back. Also during February of 2005, there was a terror attack in Beirut, Lebanon, killing former Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik Hariri and 21 others in a massive bomb near his motorcade. This eventually led Israel to invade Lebanon after Syrian troops left. The blame, of course, was put on Hezbollah, but in fact, this is not true at all. This was all composed by Mossad, which put the blame in their enemy, Hezbollah. Mossad has been and still does carry out attacks similar to this one. In this sort of fashion. Hassan Nasrallah said Israel was looking for a way to assassinate Hariri as early as 1999 in order to create political chaos that would force Syria to withdraw from Lebanon and to perpetuate an anti-Syrian atmosphere in the wake of the assassination. And this is exactly what they did. This was Mossad's same plan for Mozambique. Allowing this new party to gain office in Mozambique would be detrimental to Israel's influence in East Africa, as this current party, the Mozambique Liberation Front, had close ties with Israel and would allow their troops in the nation. Mozambique to Israel was a proxy, and they couldn't lose this one. This is why all heads of state in Mozambique have all been from the same party. But you may ask, Why haven't I heard of this incident? This would have been international news, right? The answer is quite simple. Mossad couldn't have pinned the blame on any sort of organization or group. Any kind of claim a terrorist group killed Simango would have been easily debunked. So what they decided to do was cover it up. It was a top priority, to prevent the press from finding out. So they wiped the tapes from the state television. Let's go ahead and recap this. Incumbent President Joaquim Chissano stepped down after 18 years in power, with 5 candidates running to succeed him. Officials expected the winner to be formally announced on December 17, but it was delayed until December 21st. The Mozambique Democratic Movement, formerly named the Party for Peace, Democracy and Development, wins the Mozambique 2004 general election, gaining 63.74% of total votes. Simango was to take office in February 2005. Mossad finds out about Simango's victory and plans out the assassination. On February 20th, Simango is to officially become head of state. At 4:36 p.m., Mossad's agents and the Islamic State member staging as a security guard named Chambal points and shoots Simango shortly after he has given his opening speech. Chambal is tackled and sent to prison before most likely heading back to Israel. Afterwards, Armando Guebuza takes place as president, allowing the ruling